has. It
Yeah.
has.
Yes.
But it's only good. So some houses are good for a year, some houses are good for a nanosecond. It's depending on what's going on in your environment.
Yeah. So
But
can you tell us for the people on Facebook what you actually do so that they can get to understand how you work and where you come from, because I find it all fascinating, and I would say once upon a time I was a bit of a skeptic, but I've seen it work and I've spoken to people that it's worked for, so I have a better understanding of it, but I still don't understand. So
yeah,
what is it that when you go and you visit a place and you're talking to the people who are looking at you as if you're a bit weird, and you're thinking, well, how do I get them to understand what I actually do?
yeah. So I put myself out there as a property wellness consultant. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm looking at naturally occurring and man-made environmental stresses that might be affecting your health and well-being, short-term, long-term, but also emotional stresses and consciousness. So there are phenomena on properties which can bring you undone mentally. So, if you've moved into a house and you're suffering from the black dog, or even in your workplace, and people, there's lots of people that are struggling, then it's often the foundation, the actual property itself, that's bringing the stuff on. And most of the time, something can be done if we can make it better. Sometimes we can't fix it, but we can make it better and we can maintain it. And it's certainly a lot cheaper than moving house. And I said earlier in the podcast there that we used to be nomadic, and if place didn't agree, we'd move on. And now we're capitalists. Even if we got a work building or a factory or something like that, we just can't move our staff, and our stuff. It's just financially we can't afford to it. But health-wise, maybe our life and our health's worth more to us than the building or the site. But that's where I sort of step in, and fairly cheaply, we can actually make your house a lot better and support your health. And
Or
I work with,
your workplace.
yeah, or your
Create an
workplace.
environment. It's a bit like you stepping in and healing the surroundings that people work in, so that environment's a much better place to be in. Like, you have coaches or people who go into a corporate business and they work on the people in there to look at where they're at and where they want to be, and do some clearing of habits or
Yep.
paradigms. And I suppose the environment has paradigms, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just triggered something when you were saying that. So
Yeah.
Feng Shui space, they say your luck comes from three sources. One's heaven luck, one's earth luck, and one's personal luck. So heaven luck, that's where we're born. We're born into a rich family or a poor family, and the time and all that sort of stuff. So we're already here. Okay, we've already made that decision. Personal luck is where we spend all our time and our resources. So, and, money, all that sort of stuff. So that's when we train ourselves. We go to the gym. We go to yoga or whatever we can do to maintain ourselves. And each one of these three is actually worth one third of your luck. Okay, so that personal luck space, it costs you a lot of money and a lot of time and effort. Third one is earth luck. That's about your feng shui, the flow of energy and space that you're in, and it's supporting you moving forward in your health. And that's worth one third of your luck too. And
And
that's something that you can control and take control of, and modify and make it a lot better with very little resources.
And it's really interesting. It's where a door might be facing in a wrong way, or your bed's facing the wrong way, and you can change it with, just moving the bed or something like that. That would change the energy which is under the bed, which the things that you look at, the ley lines and that sort of thing that are crossing the paths of the bed where it's making someone unwell.
Yeah, it can certainly affect the flow of life force to you.
Yeah.
Mine's more of the stresses that are already there. But
Yeah.
when you set up the feng shui, you can actually affect the flow of this energy through your house. It's either
Mm.
going through the front door and out the back door because they're two lined up, or it's mingling in the house, and then you're actually getting the benefit of it before it's gone in and out the door.
Mm. Mm.
So
So there's lots of ways that you can look at what you do and how you can help people. Uh, I want to say in a very simple way, because it is a simple way, isn't it, when you know how to do it?
Yep.
But it's getting people to understand and allowing them to feel or yeah, feel the changes.
Yep.
And that can be the emotional change. It can be, you know,
It's kind of quite subtle. For some people, some people won't notice a difference at all because
yeah,
they're in their head and they're in that beta space and they're not as sensitive yet. They've got too much noise basically going on around them.
mm,
Other people are very sensitive, empathy type people, and they can feel the change straight away. And they said some of them break down and cry beside me when I've shifted something. It's we got that whole spectrum of people. And then the family unit's more stable. They know when it's unstable, then the family dynamics go out the door, and they've got chronic coughs and colds that don't seem to come right, and they've got mold they can't seem to get rid of. Um, there's just so many things that we can impact on and yeah, make the place better for people.
yeah, more comfortable, happier, friendlier, kinder
Yeah.
to everyone and the environment too, changing the way the environment's be can I say behaving?
Oh well, it's our interaction with the environment, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's the
We're part of.
behavior of the environment that we surround ourselves in. And as you said earlier on, it's about, the people that you surround yourself with and the vibrations and the energies you get from them. And then looking at the Hawkins scale and people above 200. And then you said something about, and I'm not really au fait with the Hawkins scale as such, but you said all it has to be is one number and it can make a huge amount of difference
Yeah, in your
between
perspective.
200 in your perspective. So the calibration, and there's a lady called Abraham Hicks or Esther,
Mr.
her
Hicks,
real
yeah.
name's. And she refers to herself as Abraham when she goes into her energy.
Yep. She's
Same sort of
channeling Abraham, isn't she?
she's channeling, and you're channeling the energies of the earth and the surroundings, the environment. You are actually channeling those earth movements, the what's going on around people, surrounding people, as she channels. And it's really interesting when you listen to her and then think about what you're doing. There is and she calibrates like you calibrate
Yep.
on the Hawkins scale. She calibrates as well, or gets you to calibrate yourself. So it's really interesting that you bring to people's lives some calmness, some hope when they
Yep.
don't see it.
If you can get out of those beta brainwaves for a period of your day and actually then stop and be for a few seconds and actually then plan and get out of just paying the rent and worrying about how you're going to get it in. The law of attraction kicks in, then you're there again too. If you're focusing on lack, you're dragging more of it in.
That's right. I always say you bring about what you think about.
Yeah, yeah. So
And
anyway,
yeah, and that's
having the
exactly.
foundations supports you physically and emotionally, and yeah, and helps you with your consciousness journey. Because if you really think about it, our purpose is here to come and learn and grow and be of service. Anything else is really a bit of a distraction and a bit of enjoyment as part of the trip.
Could be a good trip though.
Could be.
Yeah, yeah. Give me some examples so that we've got some examples of people that you've helped. What sort of crises were they in, and how have you helped them get out of that? What is it? What's the feeling after you've been there to visit them? Is it, as you say, it could be instant. It depends on where their mindset is, or it could take a day. It could take a couple of days or a week or something before they see or feel the change.
Yeah, it usually takes sort of a week for people to acclimatise to the new energy levels, things in the property, so they can feel off for a week. They're detoxing and that sort of thing going on. But a lot of the time, I'm just giving people hope. They've had none. They've got nowhere to turn. They don't know what to do. The medical profession's got no answers for them, and they've had a rough life up to that stage. And some of the work that I can do, we can go in and actually dig out traumas and bits and pieces and help them move forward in that consciousness path. And I do that as sort of a consciousness life coaching sort of space. And so we set the foundations for your house and your property to move upon, and then we can work on an individual and help them get them from where they are to where they need to be or want to be. And yeah, they're not stuck. There's hope. They're moving forwards.
So it's kind of like a holistic approach
Yeah, yeah, from the base
to,
up.
yeah, yeah. And it's got a lot to do with mindset
Yeah,
in
that's,
that conscious space, but the environmental space, nobody really knows what's going on there unless they ask for someone like you to come along and check the
yeah,
energy and the vibration and that of the environment to see what's happening there and the surrounding areas to look and see what's disturbing.
yeah. It could be something else in the neighbourhood, or you bring it home with you. And I've checked the schools and things out for families because we couldn't keep the kids stable, so we go looking for the source of where they're picking stuff up, or what's bringing them unhinged. Yeah.
It's very interesting. It can be very complex and
Also, it can be very simple. If I go into the mental health space, and I've got no qualifications in that area, but if you want to go to someone and they want to talk about your problems, you bring in the law of attraction, and you're attracting more of those problems. The best outcomes energetically is that you're putting in a backpack to be dragged out later. Okay,
yeah,
so
we won't go there.
so all I'm saying is that, you challenge all these spaces around you. If you're not getting results in somewhere, and try something different. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so but just yeah, I've actually gotten really excited this year because I'm about making what I do available to everybody. And this year I brought in the concept of subscriptions. So, for a couple of $100, you can get me in and do your house, and people pay me $10 a week.
To
So,
maintain.
to maintain their house and keep them in there, so you don't have to go and beg someone for the money or convince your partner or whatever that it's a good idea, because often we're at different consciousness levels to our partners and have different ideas of what priorities are. $10 is your coffee money for 2 days. It's achievable.
Yeah,
Anyway, I'm here to make it happen, and it's not money making for me. The more people I can help, the better.
yeah, yeah. And that's
So
what it's all
that's
about, isn't it?
the focus.
Helping helping people um, live better lives and feel good and have more energy and attract the right things into their lives and not the energies that may be there in their environment, which are creating a uns can I say unsafe or unstable?
Um,
Unstable. What would it be?
let's just say there's a lot of interference in the world for us getting on with our soul's original mission in coming into this world. And you talk to someone like Dolores Cannon, she says it's a nuance of coming into this world that we forget our mission on the way in. We've got to awaken to that. In my mind, if we're not getting on with the mission, we've got to come back and do it. So let's go on, get it all sorted this time, and come back for a holiday next time, maybe.
Yeah, so looking at what your purpose is, what your passion is, and your
Yeah,
purpose is to help people. And
yeah,
your purpose is going out there and doing it, showing them the how you do it.
yeah. If
So
I
it's
can, if I, if I can get 10 people to 600, then there's 10 times 15 million people that I can actually influence. So there you go. You don't have to be out there waving a flag and in front of big crowds and stuff. You can actually be there as a human being, not a human doing it, and helping humanity and the growth of sentient beings in the world.
well, we have a lot of doing, there's a lot of doing, and there's not a lot of being in this world, I see. And I think there needs to be more of being present, being in the now, and understanding. who you are.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And I notice most of my clients are moving forwards. If they stick at it and want to keep it maintained and stuff, then they do make steps forwards.
Yeah,
And even if they can't see it and their consciousness doesn't see it at that stage, it's actually helping them out. Their health's better long term. Think about the cost of going to a doctor. You know, I really go and see a doctor myself, but I know when my wife goes, it's always like $130,
yeah,
and we pay a couple of $100 a fortnight or something for private health cover.
yeah.
A few $100 getting your foundations of your house sorted out for long term. It's a pretty good investment to me.
It's a great investment. What tips would you give the listeners about looking at the environment that they're in and whether it feels comfortable for them, they're happy and contented, and everything's going the way that they want it to go? Or there's places where people are a little bit on edge, and what sort of tips would you give them to be aware of in their homes or their environment that's surrounding them?
Yeah, okay. So, do you have chronic coughs and colds? The kids are always backwards and forwards to the doctors. Have you got mental health issues in the family? Is there one particular person who might be triggered and really struggling? Um, what's your garden looking like? I said you'll find those gaps in your hedges, and you find your veggies won't grow on these stress lines either. And you're scratching your head. Even most arborists don't even seem to understand geopathic stress and how to fix a tree. Bring it out of its stress, and sometimes it'll recover. Depends on how much damage has actually been done. Um, yeah. If you're not happy with stuff going on in your life, it's worth checking. Yeah, I said I don't charge to do a survey of someone's property. If you're not happy with the way things are going in your property and you're even just interested, I sparked an interest today. Contact me and I'll do a survey for you.
How can they get in contact with you, Pete?
I think Faye's probably going to leave a link here somewhere, is she?
I might put one up, but just say where they can get in contact with you.
My website is propertywellnessdoctor.com.
Right. Okay. And you're on socials, so if you look at
Yeah, yeah, I'm on
propertywellnessdoctor.com,
Instagram and Facebook, and yeah, just send me a message and give me a call, send me a text message, whatever, and we'll work with you and see what we can get you from where you are to where you need to be, and yeah, simple as that.
beautiful.
All I need's I get photos of some people in your address, an email address basically, and I do a survey and then have a bit of a chat with you what I find, and then we take it from there. So easy
Ex-
peasy, and there's
Excellent.
no obligations in that space at all.
Beautiful.